What is up, guys, and welcome back to our FIFA 21 career mode here as the manager of the mighty Boro, and today we are here for two more games in the EFL Championship. We host Huddersfield at home at the Riverside Stadium before quickly heading to the City Ground, a tough place to go against what are currently unbeaten Nottingham Forest, so a tough two-game run before the international break. Now, we've had a few, well, I wouldn't even call them on-field issues. We've been pretty good for the most part, I'd say, so far this season, but we've encountered our first off-field issue. You may remember at the end of the last episode, Marvin Johnson entered my office and basically wanted to speak to me about his future, and that when his contract is up, he will be thinking about possibly looking for another club, moving on, and we tried to reassure him. And we basically said, get your head down, give yourself some time to think, we'll work something out. His morale went from content to good or happy, and it's dropped back down to content again. And we have then received an email for a transfer offer. That's right, I believe Marvin Johnson is in the final year of his contract, and Curitiba, I believe they are pronounced, have basically approached us with an offer to buy Johnson at the end of the season, I believe. So if we back out of this, Curitiba have expressed their interest in signing Marvin Johnson for just over £1 million. You can find the details of their offer in your folder. Please bear in mind that we are currently outside the transfer window. All personal terms can be negotiated as part of a pre-contract agreement with a view to a transfer being completed as soon as the next window opens. So, if we go back into the squad hub, I believe it will tell us, as I can't remember completely off by heart, but if we go into the financial and we sort the contracts, we should find that Marvin Johnson, as expected, has less than a year left on his contract, and clearly his unhappiness has somehow, somewhere gotten out and has alerted this club who want to buy him on a pre-contract agreement. Now, looking at this offer, if we go back into it again, we've been suggested that his market value is between 750 and 1.1 million. And to be fair to Curitiba, not too sure who they are or where they come from, but they've offered a pretty, they've offered near enough most of that. So we've got a decision to make on Marvin Johnson. Do we accept their transfer offer and basically say as soon as the January window opens, we can let you go? We're going to have to replace him if that's the case. Obviously, he's not getting in the team right now as much as he'd probably like, with the likes of Coulson playing really well and Tavernier playing really well. But an injury to one of them two, and he's our first choice left winger. We've not really got depth. So I don't want to let him go, I'll be honest. But I'm going to leave it to you guys. I don't want to make a decision off the cuff. So let me know what you think I should do with Marvin Johnson. I'm going to think on it, and we're going to come back to it. But a transfer offer in for him, interesting. And definitely something worth looking at. But before we get any further into that, we've got a game on our hands, and that is at home to Huddersfield Town in the Championship, and we have another pre-match press conference.
Thank you all for your patience. We're going to start taking questions now.
So Huddersfield Town versus Middlesbrough looks pretty even though the 23rd. I'm sure you've got a plan to win this game. How do you plan to approach it? We won't underestimate them, like we have underestimated a few teams near the bottom. The Middlesbrough team's been very in and out lately. We don't know what to expect from them game to game. How can you help your players find a bit of consistency? I think it's about working hard, and I'm going to back the boys and say that they are working hard. Sometimes players look at a game and don't feel the pressure, as if there's not much at stake. How do you plan to get really committed performance out of your team here? And I'm just going to say I'm not worried. I am 100% confident that they will treat this game as importantly as any other.
Okay, guys, we're going to wrap this up now. Thank you very much for attending.
So there's the press conference. Let's head to the team sheet. So as for the team sheet then, no real surprises with this one. Marcus Bettinelli starts in goal. The usual back four of Coulson, Hall and Fry come back in, who are now fully fit. And Jed Spence is on the right. We've got Saville and Morsey in the centre of midfield, with the usual three behind the striker, Tavernier, Roberts and Akpom. Ashley Fletcher starts up front, a team who've been very consistent of late, a team who are playing well. No reason to change them. Dykesdale is on the bench. We have brought Johnson onto the bench because I thought to myself, excluding him from the team is not really going to help the situation. So we're just going to treat him as a member of the squad as we would anyone else. He's not come forward with a transfer request. He seemed quite happy. It was Cortibia who approached us. So that doesn't really... We don't have to make any assumptions in terms of Johnson's current morale or commitment to the club or anything like that, so we will crack on like everything is normal until a decision is made. He's joined on the bench by Howson Brown, McNair at wing and Asomba Longa. So without any further ado, let's get to it.
We simply have to focus on this man. In fantastic form and the top scorer in the league. Can he add to his tally today, live on EA TV? Hello and welcome to the Riverside here in Middlesbrough. My name is Derek Ray, and joining me for commentary as always is Lee Dixon. And the focus is very much on live action from the Championship. It's Middlesbrough and they take on Huddersfield Town.
Yeah, thank you, Derek. I'm really looking forward to this. Both teams certainly capable of producing some entertaining football. Hopefully we'll get that.
Well, you certainly can't underplay how proficient our hosts are in front of goal. Just look at the record, best in the league.
Yeah, well, their forwards should be full of confidence. They've been in fantastic form of late. Bodes well for the neutrals today. Should be an entertaining match, Derek.
Well, they say that, but in terms of the usual standard of Boro games, the last couple have been a little bit quieter than what we have had. But Huddersfield have came down and followed a similar trend to what we have since relegation. They've came down from the Premier League like we did, and they've struggled. And both of us stayed up last year, but not by much. Huddersfield don't seem to be having a much better season this time around. Only one win from their first 10 games in the relegation zone currently. But no reason to underestimate them. It's a surprise to me, really, how poorly that they've done since relegation. A couple of teams have just come down from the Premier League and struggled big time. Stoke City being another.
Yeah, I really like this formation, Derek. 4-2-3-1, really. The two central midfield players supplying support to a three ahead of them, and then a lone striker with a number 10 just behind him.
So Schindler in defence. They've got Pritchard in behind.
And the game begins.
Carlin Grant, some good players. But it's a game we should expect to do well in. Let's do the job.
Fry.
Good pressing from Huddersfield. Goal kick was not really that good from Bettinelli. And the back coming at us here.
Beautifully timed.
Tavernier does well, but can't keep hold of the ball. We've not been able to string a couple of passes together. And Huddersfield have took the lead.
They have their reward.
It's Pritchard with the header. And it looked like it was straight at Bettinelli. It looked initially like a shot he should have saved.
Well, here's the goal again, and he's just been
Tavernier tackled on the ball. Cross comes in, and Fry should be doing better, but so should Bettinelli.
A chance to revisit the goal.
I think he got a hand to it, but he's got to be getting rid of that. And it's just been a sluggish start to the game from both teams.
The players are not executing his game plan today.
But unbelievably, as every game in the league, we go behind first.
On they go again. Will there be a quick response from Boro? There needs to be.
Well, let's hope we're not in for another typical Boro performance here, because we've not started well. And
Spence.
we seem to go behind in every single league game.
Promising sequence.
It's quite a worrying statistic.
Surely
But
the
Akpom's in with the first
Still a
chance.
chance.
It was straight at the keeper
Well, it looked so threatening, but the danger
as
averted.
Huddersfield play it long. And they've not got really any
So
quality
throw in
creatively. It's a poor goal to give away. We should really be looking at this game and thinking a big chance to get a clean sheet in the league, but we just can't get clean sheets in the league. Play Premier League opposition in the Cup, no problem. But in the league, absolutely not. Spence does well here. This has been some good movement. And Roberts' reverse pass to Akpom is blocked. Good little 1-2 here.
Defending.
And here's Callum Grant. There's a man at the back
And a chance
post.
to whip it in here.
If they can find him. Oh, and that time they do.
Goalkeeping.
But Bettinelli thankfully gets a hand on it.
To praise his reflexes there.
It's simple what they're doing. Just get it wide, cross it in. And our centre-backs aren't dealing with it. Thank God Bettinelli was aware that time. Corner.
He's driven in
Pritchard.
the corner.
And the header is cleared.
An example of how
And
to
Saville.
press.
I thought that was a foul there, but nothing doing by the referee. Good ball though from Saville. Great ball, in fact. Because Tavernier's got the left-hand side of the pitch to himself here. And he's going to run. And he's going to run. Tavernier. Oh. Akpom can't get there. Pass out to Saville. And woo, that was
Flinging
close.
himself at the ball.
That wasn't far away at all from Saville. What a ferocious strike. And in fact, it was a save. What a save. From the keeper, that is.
There's the life of a manager right there. Pure frustration.
Didn't
It's
realise
such
he got a hand
thankless
to
job
that.
at times.
Well, hand it to the keeper. That was incredible. So we have a corner now.
Over it comes.
Roberts
A
puts it
deft
in.
clearance.
As always, corners don't really come to anything. Roberts does well.
Looks promising, this.
Morsey.
Well, nothing
Ooh,
comes
can't
of
get the
attack
shot
when all
away.
is said and done.
And here they go again, getting the ball wide.
And
Grant.
the keeper can gather.
Good ball. Keeper thought about coming for it. Pritchard comes instead.
And the cross smuggled away.
Oh, look at the strength from Akpom. That's fantastic stuff by Tuba. And once again,
Maneuver on the wing.
there's so much space for us.
Oh,
Good ball
vision.
through.
And that's
It's
how the keeper is
Roberts.
confronted.
Oh,
Oh,
Roberts.
what an opportunity. It's been squandered.
Well,
Oh,
the
can't
dream of
believe
these
that.
players, he's had one and he's squandered it big time.
Our top goal scorer
Well, look at
with a
those
very
stats, Derek.
tentative
Perhaps
effort.
dominating possession over the last 15
Straight
minutes.
at the
They just need
keeper.
A bit of magic or a bit of luck. They will take either, I'm sure, at this stage to get back into this game.
We've started to dominate the game as another Huddersfield pass goes wayward. But our shooting boots letting us down today.
I believe there's been a
Roberts.
Hall.
Lovely bit of skill on the left-hand side. Here's Hall. Here is Roberts.
Options in the middle.
Great cross.
Glorious
And
shot.
Fletcher. And I think it's headed clear by the defender.
Not an attempt, he'll be terribly
No, it
grateful.
wasn't. Fletcher just didn't connect. Oh, Fletcher, man. Have to be getting a... I don't know how he's managed to header that so far away from goal. Creating chances. Just not taking them.
And Benza.
Can
Fraser
Huddersfield get one more chance in before the half is out?
Campbell on the ball in Benza. Nice looking pass.
It's frustrating because other than the goal, they've not really tested Bettinelli too much apart from the
Potential
one
danger.
close header.
Pritchard.
But
Well,
they've
adding
got
up all
themselves
the stoppages,
a
we
corner
will have 2
to end the
extra
half.
minutes. Well, what about that opportunity a few minutes ago? We can see it again now.
It's worse the more you watch it. Short corner again, it looks, from Huddersfield. Get the cross in this time, but headed away by Roberts. They've got the shot away, it's 2! Unbelievable! A first-time finish by Fraser Campbell doubles Huddersfield's lead.
Well, we see it again here, and the pace and accuracy of this pass.
It's nothing flash. It's a simple pass into a good area. And it's just a dragged shot across the face of the goal. And we've got some serious thinking to do with this.
Well, it's turning into a real shocker. This is the very reason, Derek, I'm not a manager.
Another goal against the run of play, but Huddersfield are putting them away here. The worst time to concede. We're going to go into half-time, not 1-0 down, but 2-0 down.
So the referee says that will be all for the first time
Well,
on the home side.
what a shocking half. It's not been bad in terms of chances created. We've created them.
Ability for sure in the second half. On the back foot for most of that 45. The manager will be having some strong words with this lot at half-time, I can tell you.
So a change of formation and a change of personnel at half-time for us. We're going to take a holding midfielder off. We've took Saville off. Replaced him with Marvin Johnson. That's right. He's come on as our left winger. Only the one holding midfielder. Roberts now in behind 2 strikers as opposed to 1. We've got Akpom up front with Fletcher. And straight away, the 2 strikers interacting well. This formation change could be an absolute masterstroke here as Fletcher's in. It's saved though by the keeper. And once again, the Huddersfield keeper keeps them in it. But straight away, the 4-1-2-1-2 causing Huddersfield problems. Tavernier. Cross comes in. Bicycle kick from Roberts. And the keeper is there again.
But he got one thing wrong, and that was the finish.
A championship match that should hold plenty of intrigue.
Coulson. Here he is. Marvin Johnson with another shot. And the keeper is there again. Already in the second half alone, we've only been going for about 7 minutes. Their keeper's made 3 fantastic saves.
Well, apologies to Alan McInally for having to cut him off in that fashion. Just to confirm, Watford have scored in that match.
Here's Mbenda. Bit of space on the left.
Able to deal with the threat.
It is cleared. Roberts can't keep hold of the ball, and they're in again.
I must say he's let himself
And it's
down
straight.
with really flabby finishing there.
Marcus Bettinelli.
Opportunity from the short distance.
Match, Alan McInally.
It's a third goal for Nottingham Forest.
Fletcher.
64 minutes played.
Roberts.
Thank you, Alan McInally.
Here's Akpom. Barges his way past the defender. Fletcher has been brought down. And it's a penalty. Well, a lifeline for us perhaps. Was it a penalty?
I like that, Derek. Good refereeing.
Oh, that's again. Did the defender get the ball there? A penalty in our favour this time. Good work from Akpom initially, who cuts inside, and oh, that could have been a foul in itself. But as he gets over the defender, Fletcher comes across. Fletcher gets the first touch, and then the defender meets him in the middle, and it's... I think it is a penalty, and that's not me being biased. I think that is definitely a penalty. And it's Chuba Akpom who's going to step up to take this. Our last penalty, we skied it. Going to try and not sky this one. Akpom scores. The keeper didn't move a muscle. And Akpom gets us back into this game.
Again, I can tell you his nerves will have been jangling, but he kept his nerve. Really good penalty.
Yeah, good penalty.
Have another view of that goal.
Bit nervous after the only other penalty we had this career mode against Barnsley when it went into row Z. We've been knocking on the door. We finally broke through. Akpom gets us back in it. It's 2-1. Let's see if we can get a move going quickly. Johnson. Coulson. Johnson. Good play from the two on the left. Plenty of men in the box for him to aim at. One of them is Roberts. What a finish! What a finish from Patrick Roberts. That's the quality and that's the difference that this guy brings to the team. First time finish with his left foot right into the far corner.
I could watch this all day long. I can't tell you how difficult this technique is.
Look at that for a finish. Unbelievable from Roberts.
Well, the goal again, albeit from a different angle.
Almost scissor kicks it into the far corner. I said it before and I'll say it again. Without this guy, we'd be nowhere near where we are in the table. His 10th of the season. Roberts draws us level at 2 each.
Goals are plenty, 2-2.
Huddersfield playing it around at the back. And that is it for 90 minutes, which I'm sure Huddersfield will be the happier.
Another couple of goals again today. They just can't stop scoring this lot. Must be a lot of fun to play in this team. Mind you, not a lot of fun watching their defending today. Great game though.
Lee Dixon has just summed up our season. Scoring goals freely, but we can't keep them out. We should never have had Huddersfield 2 goals ahead. We always make it hard work for ourselves coming from behind. We've had to do it again today for only a point. Middlesbrough 2, Huddersfield 2. It didn't look good at half-time. You were behind and looked second best. How pleased were you with the way the team responded? Happy. I think the changes to go with 2 strikers and only 1 holding midfielder definitely helped. But I'm going to say it's a game we should be winning. And although it's not the team morale, I think it's the honest answer. We started slowly, couldn't get into the game. Paid the price. Absolutely. Looking at former league positions, that must have been a game you expected to win. Was it a case of the opposition playing well? Credit the opposition or criticise your own team. I don't think any of them answers are really going to help us out, really. Hanging on a bit. Yeah, that seems to have done the trick. That was a tough question. There wasn't really much between the two sides today, was there? What are your feelings on the result? What do you make of the performance? Well, it wasn't great in the first half. A frustrating day. That's all I'll say about that.
Thank you, that's it for the questions.
So not quite the typical Boro performance, but we certainly made it more difficult for ourselves, and we need to start taking the lead in games, especially in the league. We're always making it tough for ourselves and we're always chasing the game. What we're going to do is I'm going to quickly show you the youth academies. We've not had a little look at this for a while, so the 3 players are progressing well. All of them still looking pretty good potential-wise. I think all 3 of them have a pretty good future. Gabriel Banks is still the one who looks to be the best at the minute. Is coming on quite well, as is Jarko Makinen, the 15-year-old. He's got a very good overall for his age. And Jacobson also looking good. I think we're going to keep these in for a bit longer and then maybe promote them to the senior team if needs be. So only a point from the Huddersfield game. Disappointing. And now we have to head to Nottingham Forest, who were unbeaten. Question is, are they still unbeaten? And the answer is yes. So, the only unbeaten team left in the league, actually, as Brentford have suffered their first defeat of the season. I wonder who got the gratitude of beating the best team in the league. who, to be fair, are only a couple of points clear at the top. They're not running away with it like they were early on. And Swansea with a team to beat Brentford. Wow. How about that? But anyway, let's head to the City Ground. Try and pick up 3 points away at Nottingham Forest. So ahead of the team sheet, Johnson's been in the office once again. And this seems to be an ongoing saga. Want a quick word with you. You know I love it here. I've been really enjoying my football. I like to settle things in my future. My current deal hasn't got a lot long to run. Do you think there's a chance of me fixing up a new contract? Well, there we go. How quickly things can change. I think it's worth seeing if we can get Johnson on a new contract. Just for the time being. And I'll deal with that. And we'll approach Johnson for a new contract in due course. Let's head to the team sheet then for the Forest game. So, heading into the Forest game, an unchanged team pretty much. Despite the poor performance, I still believe this team is the best that we can offer at the moment. The only change being Dijksteel has come in for Jed Spence, who's the only player looking significantly unfit heading into this one. But it's the last game before the international break, so hopefully these guys can give us everything they've got before the break. Let's see if we can take some decent points away from what I'm sure will be a very, very difficult game. Look at the players in the squad. This is going to be tough.
Hello everyone. You know, some footballers enjoy a rainy day. Not sure fans always feel that way, but an exciting match in prospect nonetheless. My name is Derek Ray, and I'm joined for commentary by Lee Dixon. I'm looking forward to bringing you the cut and thrust of the championship. It is Nottingham Forest, and they face Middlesbrough.
Yeah, thanks, Derek. All that work in the week, all that chat in the dressing room, all that stops now. It's put your game face on, get down to it. I'm really looking forward to this one.
Top scorer by 2 goals at the minute. Patrick Roberts.
The starting 11 for Nottingham Forest then. Would you call it 4-5-1, Lee?
Yeah, I really like this formation, Derek. 4-2-3-1, really. The 2 central midfield players supplying support to a 3 ahead of them, and then a lone striker with a number 10 just behind him.
Good team. Quite a few players out of that team that I'd like in the Boro squad.
Starting 11 for Middlesbrough.
Graben, Lolly would be 2.
Enjoy the game.
I think the priority in this game is to just start well, get ahead and see what happens, so we're not constantly chasing the game like we have been in every game recently.
And the game begins.
Here's Dale Fry. Certainly take a point from the City Ground today, if you ask me, before kick-off. Good interchange though between Roberts and Akpom. Cross comes in as far as Roberts. And the shot with his weaker foot is straight to the keeper.
8 minutes played, 1-0.
Alan McInally with his finger on the pulse.
Great ball across to Sammy Amiobi there, who is a quick nippy winger. Ball comes in to Graben, who we do not want to be giving chances in the box. As Dijksteel blocks the cross, but the referee, I think, has given a free kick for handball.
To be up there challenging for the title, or at least there or thereabouts.
Tries to play in Amiobi at the near post. It comes back out. And is cleared as now Roberts turns and sets off Tavernier. As we look to counter-attack if we can here, but no real support for Tav.
Now Saville.
George Saville. Good ball. Dijksteel.
A chance to whip it in.
Wins us a throw-in.
Morsey.
Sam Morsey. Fancy a shot.
Easily, the keeper.
Bit speculative. And straight at the goalkeeper.
I understand there's been a change to the scoreline in the Norwich match. Alan McAnally.
It's a goal for Norwich City. 16 minutes played, 1-0.
Thanks
Got a
very
ball.
much as always, Alan.
Lolly's onside here.
Options in the middle.
Coulson's going to have a tough day up against Joe Lolly today. Forces him to go backwards. But here's Lolly again. Good skill. Good cross. Good header. But Amiobi's header is wide.
Well, that was like one of mine, or more to the point, like one of yours, Derek.
You're spot on with that assessment, Lee.
Yeah, he came from absolutely nowhere and maybe should have done better with that effort. Here's Dykesteel. Here's Saville.
Now Saville.
There is a big wall in between
Roberts.
the Forest defence and midfield here, and it's a wall we're struggling to get through.
Sequence.
Roberts trying to find space.
On level terms, moving the ball
Dykesteel
nicely.
with the cross.
And behind it goes the
And the
concession in
defender
the corner here.
has to head it behind with Tavernier lurking. Chances have been few and far between in this game. Not sure where Forest are in terms of goals conceded, but I can't see them conceding too many with a defence like this. There's no gaps, no space to run in behind. They're making it very tough for us.
And firing it into the area.
Corner comes in.
Pretty
And a
routine
header
there
from
for the
Saville
goalkeeper.
is straight at the keeper.
Effective looking pass.
Good ball out to Amiobi.
And a chance to whip it in here.
Keeps it in.
Right towards the
Good
near
cross. All
post. Not
does
messing
well.
around with that clearance.
As does Tavernier.
And a clear
Patrick
foul,
Roberts
but
doing
the
ever so
referee
well.
letting the play flow.
The defender's all over him here, but Roberts does not give it up. He's still going.
Robbed them.
And it's good defending eventually as Roberts tried to keep running, but the defender was all over him.
Thiago Silva.
And as they have been doing,
From the wide
Forest
position.
looking for the wings, testing
Pretty comfortable
our
piece of
centre-backs
defending.
with balls into the box. But they're equal to it every time. Roberts doesn't let the defender get the better of him this time as he shrugs him off.
Another
But once
successful
again,
intervention, winning the ball back.
he can't get through.
An attack full of promise.
Silva,
Well,
he's
they got
beaten
the
Dale
ball
Fry and
The
Graben.
keeper made it look routine.
His
It was
first
everything
real
but-
attempt on goal. I feared the worst there.
It really is. The crowd sense
Great
the
bit
goal.
of skill from Silva. And on another day, Lewis Graben scores there. Good save, Bettinelli.
Fire at home.
So we approach the end of the first half, and it's just been a complete stalemate. Absolute stalemate. They've put balls into the box. We've been equal to every one of them, and then we've tried to play in behind and get in behind their defence. And we've not been able to get anywhere near them either.
Stale. Well, the managers will now deliver
We've
their
cancelled
half-time
each other out.
talks. We're at the end of 45 minutes in this game.
Tough first
Probably a fair
half.
assessment of his first
Not
half
much to report,
work will
really.
be A mixed bag.
It's
Well,
0-0.
no goals for him, no real chances either. He needs to help his team a little bit more just to get involved in the game. I think he would be the difference if he was playing better.
2-0.
Many thanks, Alan. And an effective clearance.
Cross is no good from Tavernier. Dykesteel finds Morsey, and
Way too many things
oh,
wrong about that effort.
that just sums up the day so far, doesn't it?
Positioning, the idea of where he was going to put the ball, it was all going wrong. It's a poor
Closer to the
attempt
corner
by
flag and Rose Ed than it was the Nottingham Forest net.
Well, Derek, you can sense the frustration growing from the fans. That leads on to the players being frustrated too. You can sense it. Can they get the goal?
Here's Roberts. Could do with some magic from him.
Roberts.
Does a hop and a skip. And we keep the ball with George Saville. Roberts with a bit of room. Oh, and he's hit the post! A shot from Roberts.
So a throw in here.
And we come the closest of the two teams there. A couple of inches to the right. Would have been one up there. Roberts hits the woodwork.
Well, they're sitting ever deeper.
As Forest are slipping a little bit deeper and deeper.
Here's
We're
Patrick
gaining
Roberts.
territory. Here's Roberts again. Trying to get another shot off maybe.
Delivered into
It's
the
the crossing instead. Zach Bomb absolutely wipes out the goalkeeper.
The outcome is a free kick here. Now he must favour the cross.
And Silva in a difficult position.
Amiobi.
Trying to hold them off here as Amiobi now edges towards the box.
Sambaso.
Sambaso plays an awkward little ball into the area.
Benalouan.
As Forest start to apply their first bit of pressure
Fouad
of the
Bashirou.
second half.
Can he do it?
And they've turned and it's a goal!
1-0. They breach
Forest's
the
first attack of the second half, and it's the substitute who strikes straight away for Forest. Da Costa with an instant impact.
Obviously, it's a tap-in, Derek, but it's the patience
A
in the
great
box
touch
behind.
and turn.
His instinct, just waiting
Nothing
for
you
the
can
ball
do
to
about
come to
that
him.
there.
Slightly different vantage point.
Fry
in
would have to
terms of the
be
goal that was scored.
Glued to the striker to get any sort of block on that.
Well, the manager's showing signs of frustration.
It's a
They
shame.
need to improve if they're going to get something out of this game, Derek.
There's been nothing to split us really, and we've been the better team in the second half, but once again we go behind. Forest lead by 1-0.
Big moment in the dying embers.
Saville trying to bring the ball out.
Marvin Johnson.
As here's Johnson as we try and use
But they need an equaliser.
the fresh legs we've got on the wings.
And space for the cross.
And finally,
Well, good play to stop the ball going in.
a chance and a
Well,
corner.
it's not on the side. This corner could help their prospects as they look
Set
for an
piece might be
equaliser.
our only chance to get through this Forest back line.
Played into the centre of the
Corner
box.
in.
And he's
They're
cleared
equal to it.
lines.
Again, as you'd expect.
Delivered into the box.
Johnson does well, but the cross is poor.
Just unable to take advantage of that developing situation.
Forest
Well, this is
now
far from over.
could
We're gonna
counter-attack
have
us as
5
we
minutes
are
of
into stoppage time.
Well, it must be mighty annoying when you can't get
Don't
near
know how
the
many
ball.
games we've had this season where we've not scored a goal,
Amiobi.
but this has been the best defence we've come up against.
Well, they couldn't
I'll have
take
to
advantage
say.
of the opportunity.
Roberts' touch is a poor one. Joe Lolly now.
He's using his strength to good effect.
Goal kick. So heading into the final minute of stoppage time. It's now or never. Coulson,
Still time for them to level it.
Roberts, Johnson,
Cross.
Sombalonga Tavernier. Oh, it's saved by the keeper. And that will be the last
Well, a
chance.
time for composure on the ball. And
Forest
that will be
hang
all for this
on
game anyway, and defeat for the
And
visitors.
maintain their
What do you make of it?
unbeaten
Yeah, certainly not their
record
best
in the
performance, was
league.
it? Just a little off the pace for me today. It's obviously a disappointing result, but it's key that they bounce back. They can't afford another repeat performance like this next time out.
Really frustrating because there was
His
nothing
performance
between
in
them,
this particular
the teams
game will
today.
impress many people late.
Well, he's always a danger, isn't he? No more so when he grabbed that goal. He never disappoints me when I watch him. He's just too good, simple.
One chance is all that split the two teams. We weren't at our attacking best, but I think Forest were defensively very, very good. Might be the first time we've not
And
scored in the
game
league.
begins.
We go down
An
1-0
attack
to
full of
0.
promise.
Well, we had all the possession and Forest had one shot on target. But that's why they're the team unbeaten in the league.
Time for a few questions.
Frustrating day, this one. It's always seemed like a difficult game today between two pretty evenly matched teams. Did you think your boys looked a little short of self-belief? I wouldn't say so. One mistake is costly. I wouldn't even say it was a mistake, really. We huffed, we puffed, we created a couple of chances, but just could not get any luck from crosses. Could not get any luck in behind. A frustrating defeat for you. Once you went behind, you never really looked like you were able to get back into the game. I wouldn't say that was the case. We didn't take too long to get into the game this time, actually. It's just a shame we couldn't really get the first goal. Forest will be delighted with their result against you. I guess you're frustrated, though. Was the display of Worrell at the heart of their defence the difference? Well thought out. It certainly was. He's good. I'll praise our team and our guys as well, but yeah, their defence was very, very good today. So we head into the international break now with a couple of players, Paddy and Saville, heading off to play for Northern Ireland. And a winless episode. We've not got any wins today a draw and a defeat. And we didn't win it at Preston either. So, yeah, since that win over Norwich, no winning 3 in the league, which, you know, is not ideal. And we will have the international break, and then we will come back, head to the Majeski, which will not be easy. And then we will host Rotherham United. And I'm not going to call any game easy now after the Huddersfield result. We're away at Reading and we're at home to Rotherham. That's it. As for the league table, we are leaving this episode smack bang in mid-table. And I mean, it's just an average start, isn't it, really? I mean, played 12, won 4, drew 4, lost 4. Simple as that, really. I feel like our games are getting tighter. We're not conceding as many goals, but then all of a sudden the goals have sort of dried up a little bit as well. So maybe it's just the nature of how we've started to play the game. You know, playing it a little bit tighter, a little bit more careful. I'm not too sure. The games are just not as open as they were before. But we do in the episode smack bang in mid-table in 12th position. And we are now 5 points off the playoffs. So then, guys, that is it for today's episode. If you've enjoyed it, of course, hit the like button. Do subscribe to the channel for much more FIFA 21 career mode content to come. And we're going to be back after the international break as we head to Reading before hosting Rotherham at home. But until then, thank you guys very much for watching. See you next time.